Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Latifah and today we are going to be looking at how to make a small living room look bigger. So this is something that is quite challenging when it comes to decorating the space, especially in our living rooms. But if you're that kind of a person who is, okay with the living rooms and maybe you're looking into expanding or making your other rooms such as office or bedroom feel bigger, then feel free to continue watching this because the same tips are also possible to apply in those particular rooms. These are tips that I've actually used in my own house and I've definitely seen the change. I have actually started enjoying those rooms that I never used to spend more time in. Just having the right information and using that information to the benefit of ensuring that things are right, then I think that is the best thing that you can ever do to a space. And if you're renting a house, then definitely you know what I'm talking about. And I'm super excited about these 10 tips that I'm about to share with you because these are things that I've actually used in my own house and I've definitely seen the change. A living room is the first impression that when the guests come in, they are definitely going to get in contact with. So you want to make that space look more inviting, feel cozy. So when it comes to decorating a space, for me, it's always about coziness and functionality of the space. But when it comes to small spaces, then you also need to incorporate other ideas to make it look cozy, functional, and of course at the same time a place that you can stay in and spend more time in. With no further ado, I am super excited to share these tips with you because these are life-changing tips that you can actually use for your space. So if you're ready, let's get started. Selecting the right color is definitely very important, and the reason why I'm saying this is because you don't need this video to know that white makes a room look big and brightens the space. It's common sense to everyone, right? But wait, like you have to be very keen when choosing these colors because sometimes you may feel that maybe you don't want white, or maybe you've been using white for so long and maybe you want a fresh start. But wait, you have to be very keen and very careful when choosing these colors. So what you need to do is go look for colors that are neutral but still feel fresh and airy at the same time, giving you that nice look to your space and still giving you the same illusion and effect. There are a variety of colors out there that you can actually use to paint your house, and sometimes we are more driven with what is our favorite color that we can use in our houses, or which color looks nice and so forth and such things. But you have to be very keen when choosing a color for a small space, because you'll notice that certain colors, with instead of reflecting light, they only absorb light and making the room look small and feeling moody and giving the illusion that it's small. But when using the right color, which is like neutral colors and whites, it's definitely going to make the room feel much bigger and it's going to reflect light in the house. So I would recommend that you be careful when it comes to choosing your colors right, and try to avoid your favorite but go with what works for that space instead. You're definitely going to see the change, and you'll let that be the foundation of creating a nice airy and fresh space for yourself. Once you have the painting right for your small space, I would definitely recommend that you go for floor to ceiling curtains. In this way, it's definitely going to give you that nice illusion of the space looks bigger, and not only does it make the space look bigger, but it also makes that space look beautiful, grander, and of course looks very airy and very cozy. So what you want to do is try to ensure that your curtain rods are actually towards the ceiling, almost to the ceiling, and then make sure that your curtains are long enough to touch the floor, and also ensure that your curtain rods are long enough that they are a few inches away from the window frame. In this way, there's enough air and enough light coming inside the space, which is actually a good and a beneficial factor in making that space look bigger and grander. So once you hang your curtains way up to the ceiling, the next step you want to do is ensure that you arrange your furniture off the walls. I know this is something that is quite challenging for many of us. I was a victim of that as well. But once you actually capture that idea, then you're definitely going to see that change. And the good thing about putting your furniture off the wall is that it definitely gives you that coziness that you want in a house. I never thought this was possible up until I started using this technique. If you don't feel like you have that confidence to push them way away from the wall, you can just do a few inches off the wall. In this way, it's definitely going to give you an illusion that a room looks bigger. So you need to consider the kind of layout you have. You want to have an intimate conversation zones with your layout, and definitely if you can't place your coffee or anything that you have into the coffee table, then you definitely need to reconsider that layout and try to bring your furniture closer together. In this way, it's going to give you that nice cozy finish to your space. And I know this is tricky, but even for me it was hard to believe up until when I started using this trick to decorate houses and even in my own space. And I can assure you that there's a big difference and a big change when it comes to just moving your furniture off the wall. Just that small step, it makes a big significance in your space. So using your walls is one of the ways or best ways that you can actually utilize the space that you have. And the reason why I recommend using your walls to, give the illusion that your house is bigger, try to use your wall to maybe create shelves, like open shelves to display your art, display your pictures, or even whatever you have, your plants, anything that you may want to display on the wall. Use it in this way. It's going to make the house look bigger and obvious, giving driving the eye just not on the lower side of things but also up, giving the illusion that the ceiling is actually higher. So in this, decluttering your room is one of the most important aspects of making a small space feel bigger. You don't need to buy anything new. You don't need to change anything in the house. All you need to do is organize your items in that particular space. So if you have things lying around, unnecessary things, in the space, ensure that you move them and put them in the right space. If you have things that you don't need them anymore, get rid of them, donate them if necessary, give to friends and family, and try to have a cleaner space. So this is one way of definitely making your space look bigger. So try this experiment, organizing everything in the right place, putting everything in where it needs to be, and that's it. Everything else just takes care of itself, and you're definitely going to feel that the space feeling more spacious and larger in its own way. So using a monochromatic color scheme is a very important aspect in making a small space look big. So what is monochromatic color scheme? So this is simply using one color palette but in different shades of the same color. In that way, the space kind of gives you that illusion that the space is bigger, so it doesn't really deviate your mind or your eyes into thinking that this space looks small. So it's very important to actually play around with the colors. But if you feel that maybe using one shade of color is just too much for you, then another way or other colors that you can incorporate are grays and blacks in monochromatic color scheme of that particular space. So don't shy off from also using bright colors. You can use furnitures that are of bright colors, but you need to be very keen, because sometimes bright colors can like give attention to an object and making the space feel way smaller than it is. So I would recommend playing around with monochromatic color scheme. In this way, you're playing it safe and definitely making the space look much larger than it actually is. Hanging large mirrors to expand your small space is definitely a way to go. I would recommend this anytime, any day, anywhere to anyone. Why? Because not only does mirrors act as a decorative piece or object to a space, but it also brightens that space and gives the illusion that the space is bigger. So I would recommend maybe going for large mirrors that you can find. In this way, they're definitely going to make the room look twice as big as they are in the actual sense. So mirrors are a great way to incorporate in making a small space look larger. Investing in eye-tricking furniture is also a very important aspect in making a small space look bigger. Why do I say this? It's because when you want to shop for a small space, you want to go for furniture that actually have legs and furniture that are going to allow you to see through or see under that furniture, giving you the illusion that the space is bigger. And another good way to actually incorporate furniture in a small space is going for clear furniture such as accent chairs and tables, aka the acrylic furnitures. In this way, if you're able to see something through that object, it already gives you that illusion that a space is bigger. So appropriately proportional furniture is another aspect of making a small space look bigger. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you may tend to go for bigger furniture that may make a small space look more smaller. So you want to go for the right furniture. So one way that I can actually recommend you to do this is by ensuring that you have the right measurements of the space and actually customizing your furniture. In this way, the furniture actually fits according to the measurements that you've taken in that particular space. So avoid also to have or having small or smaller furnitures in the space. Too much furniture in the space may tend to look cluttered and crowded. So try to go for the right furniture and not just crowding the space with any furniture that you find around or small pieces of furniture, thinking that you're actually doing the space justice, only to find that you're actually doing harm to it at the end of the day. Letting light in your house is very important and crucial. So what you want to do is try to avoid anything that may block your source of light in that room. So avoid heavy and dark curtains. So try to go for light linen, and also try not to put anything on that side of the wall where the window is. In that way, the light is going to come in and give some freshness into the space and definitely making the house look bigger. And light really makes a space look big, because if you imagine yourself in a dark room, you're not able to see the other end of the wall, and that is what you're trying to get when you have light in the house. You're able to see all corners of your house and your room, so it's a great way to actually make a space feel bigger. So avoid anything that is unnecessary in that wall. Let the light come in, and as I said, in terms of hanging your curtains, try to hang them way out from the window frame, so that the light comes in the right way and in plenty, and you're able to actually experience that natural light in your house. And don't forget also, other than just allowing the natural light to come in through the windows, also don't just concentrate on one source of light, which is the normal and the main one that is normally on the ceiling. Try to go for different types of light in your house. You can incorporate floor and table lamps in the house, and definitely don't forget sconce light. This brings in that freshness during the night, and you're definitely going to feel that coziness in the small space, giving that illusion that the space is bigger than it is. That was it today, guys. Thank you so much for sticking till the end of the video. Other than that, I'll see you on my next video. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.